Welcome back. You're still watching First Trades right here on ET Now. Touch base with BEML. They're focused on emerging business opportunities, defense services allocation to higher funds, eyeing about 800 crores revenue from defense and aerospace. And, we need to understand from them their outlook on order wins and order book growth. So we have with us Deepak Kumar CMD, who's CMD of BEML, joining us right now. Mr. Hota, it's great to have you on the show. With the government's emphasis on public sector investment set to increase and more allocation to the defense services sector, tell us, how do you plan to, really monetize on this growth opportunity? How does that reflect in your expectations of order inflow through FY19? So maybe March of 2019, how do you see things panning out?
Well, thank you very much. Let me share with looking at for the next year. But before that, I would like to create a context in which we are operating. The first is that there is a Make in India policy of the Honorable Prime Minister, which is further coupled with a new public procurement policy which has come, and it is being monitored by the Ministry of DIPP. There have been a number of changes there which encourages indigenization, and that has been one of the backbones for BEML in all the three verticals that we operate in. The other thing is BEML has a huge capacity to absorb technology. 80% of whatever we sell is with open competition, very unlike other public sectors where perhaps some work is given on nomination basis. 50% of all the work that we do is own in-house R&D developed products. So this is what gives us a lot of strength as a company. Now the three verticals, first being defense, this affords a lot of opportunity for us. And we have last year, even though the revenues were flat in the top line of defense, we have grown almost double in the spare parts. Now, that is something that gives a lot of traction. And this year, we are expecting to grow 3 times in the spare parts business. Overall, as a defense vertical, we are expecting to grow at least by 60 to 70%. The second major vertical is our rail and metro. Now, as you would know, rail and metro, we are the company to have made the first rail coach in the country. That apart, today, we command a 47% of the market share in all metro coaches manufactured in the country. We have at the moment orders from BMRCL, that is Bangalore Metro, from Calcutta Metro, Delhi Metro, and together with this, we hope to achieve a 70% growth again in the rail and metro sector this year, in the coming year. Now let's go to the mining and construction. Now that is a space which has really got a lot of players. You have the MNCs dumping the prices, you have the Chinese products making the inroads, you have second-hand products which come in, and there also we are expecting to grow at least 10% in the coming year. But the chief thing in the mining and construction is we have recently joined a select group of countries where 150 and 200 ton dump trucks are made. Now these dump trucks which are made are, we are about to sell it to Coal India. We've got an order from them, and it's a moment of pride for us.
Oh yeah, indeed. And Mr. Hota, just wanted to understand, considering you've set the backdrop, there are quite a few segments that you're operating in. Tell us a little bit more about where is it that you see a larger chunk of your order book coming in, and which segment do you think is going to be contributing the maximum to your order book in, say, the next 1 to 2 years to come?
Well, the order book at the moment, I have about 6,700 crores of order book. And the two hotspots for me is defense and rail and metro. In the rail and metro, I have got orders for the LHB coaches, which had been eluding us for a long time. We have been made eligible for all metro orders in the country. And the metro space itself, there is in the next 2 years, 2 to 3 years, at least 1,000 metro coaches which are going to be required. You have Mumbai Line 2, Line 7, you have Delhi Metro, you have Bangalore Metro, you have extensions of the other metros. So that is one growth spot for us. The other growth spot is the defense, as I said. Now, in the defense, we have a lot of potential to increase our share of the spare parts. The spare parts that are required for the various platforms that we sell to the defense industry, there is a huge amount of improvement that is possible, and we have this year targeted 3 times. So that is going to be one of the hotspots for us. The other thing is that we also make a lot of missile components, and we are expecting some traction over there. In the defense, besides this, we are hoping to execute a 1400 crore order of the recovery vehicles, armored recovery vehicles. So these are going to be the two areas where we are going to have huge traction. As far as mining and construction is concerned, let me tell you that even a 10 to 11% growth there in such a crowded marketplace is extremely good and challenging. In the mining, we are moving towards a high-end dump truck. So these are the growth areas that we are looking at in BEML.
Okay, so let's pick up these segments one by one. And firstly, to the railways, we also understand that you're a huge part in the indigenization of bullet trains as well. There's a tie-up with Hitachi too. Tell me, where exactly do things stand as of now when it comes to bullet trains in particular?
Well, as you would be aware, the bullet train is the finance comes from Japan, and there will be two Japanese companies. We understand Kawasaki and Hitachi, of course. So Hitachi and BEML have had a tie-up. We have signed a MOU, and we are hoping that there would be a lot of opportunities coming in this. As per the plans of the government, which is spearheaded by National High Speed Rail Corporation, they are looking at importing 240 coaches, of which there would be a large number of it which would be made in India. And we are looking at opportunities over there. This is in the year 2022-23.
You've set a rather ambitious target of about almost 50% growth, if I'm not mistaken, in defense as well as the metro rail businesses. Do you think it's achievable, or is it a little too ambitious?
Well, I would say that it is an ambitious target, but I have assured the market in the past as well. I will assure you minimum 30% growth in the top line for next year.
Okay, good to hear that. I just want to talk about the Q4 performance as well that we had from you, because it was a fairly muted set of earnings that we had in Q4. What kind of margins are you targeting for the year ahead, considering you're pretty bullish on the growth per se?
Well, I think the market needs to understand that Q4 of last year and Q4 of this year, they need to compare the net figures. I think they have taken the gross figures of last year and compared it with the net figures this year post GST. If you compare the two Q4s, we have grown by 6.3%. So that is growth for us. Overall, if you look at the entire year, I have grown by 30% on the top line. I have grown 67% in the PBT. I have grown over 50% in the PAT. If you look at certain other metrics, for example, my percentage of wage cost to revenue, that has dropped by 6%. My inventory has dropped substantially. So these are some of the things which points towards a very, very bright future for BEML as a company as a whole.
Okay, Mr. Hota, pleasure speaking with you, and good to hear you so confident sounding as well. We look forward to all that earnings reportage from you that we're going to see. And